This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter. I'm welcome you to the Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, April 29th, 1986, Rocket Roger Clemens blew up the Major League scoring strikeout leadership, getting 20 strikeouts in one game, becoming the first pitcher to ever do that. Strikeout pitchers are nothing new in baseball, but basically, Roger Clemens shocked everyone by his 20 strikeouts in 1986. Sure, it was against the lowly Seattle Mariners, who basically had a very crappy season. But Roger Clemens was a very good pitcher, and he knew it too. So, when we look at the box score of this game, it happened on April 29th, 1986. The Seattle Mariners were terrible. They would play the Boston Red Sox, who were doing very well. Only 13,000 fans came to the Tuesday night game, which is like, what the hell? What's going on here? So Boston came into this game in a very tight race, as every team in the AL East, except for two, were above 500, whereas Seattle was the worst team in the AL West, technically. So that wasn't too good. All that. So, many other scores. My beloved Blue Jays lost to the California Angels 4-3, with Donnie Moore getting a save. So anyway, Roger Clemens would face Mike Moore. Seattle had Spike Owen, Phil Bradley, Ken Phelps, Gorman Thomas, Jim Presley, Yvonne Calderon, Danny Tartabull, Dave Henderson, Steve Yeager as the starting nine. Spike Owen would surprisingly play for the Boston Red Sox. I think he was traded to the Red Sox in the 86 season, if memory serves me right. Because I remember Spike Owen playing for the Red Sox. Yeah, the funny thing is he would play for the 86 Red Sox. It was a August 1986 trade. He was traded by the Mariners with Dave Henderson, with Hendu, for players to be named later, Ray Quinones. The Red Sox would send 3 players to Seattle to complete the deal. None of them would pan out, of course. So Dave Henderson also was on that 86 Mariners team. That they got sent to Boston. Wow, the team that went to the World Series. So Boston didn't have Dave Henderson the whole year. Of course, Dave Henderson died years ago, and he still remembered in Seattle. Phil Bradley was decent, but he was better off being a White Sox. Ken Phelps would basically be traded to the Yankees for Jay Buhner and basically get Frank Costanza all worked up. Gorman Thomas saw his better days, especially with Milwaukee, part of the Harvey Swallbangers squad of 1982 with the Brewers. Jim Presley would be okay, but after he left for San Diego, he was downhill. Yvonne Calderon would be basically better off with the Expos, among other teams. Danny Tartabull playing second base. That's unusual. Danny Tartabull's an outfielder, I thought. But yeah, Tartabull would be a future Yankee. And Steve Yeager was one of the co-MVPs in the 1981 World Series for the Dodgers. Now he's a Mariner. The Red Sox starting lineup was Dwight Evans, Wade Boggs, Bill Buckner, Jim Rice, Don Baylor, Rich Gedman, Marty Barrett, Steve Lyons, and Glenn Hoffman. Dwight Evans, pretty good in right field. Wade Boggs, one of the best third basemen of all time. Bill Buckner, 1986 was not a good year for him for many reasons. Jim Rice was a fantastic player. Don Baylor at first base, man. It would have been nice if Boston used Don Baylor more in that year. Rich Gedman, good catcher. Marty Barrett, good second baseman. Steve Lyons, psycho, the guy who accidentally pulled down his uniform pants while trying to shake off dirt in 1990 as a member of the White Sox. And Glenn Hoffman. Glenn Hoffman. I don't think the Red Sox would have been good with him at shortstop. So Seattle was ready to go. Mike Moore versus Roger Clemens. In the first inning, Clemens whiffed Owen, Bradley, and Phelps in order. In the second, Gorman Thomas would line out to left field, but Presley and Calderon struck out, so that's 5 strikeouts. In the third inning, only one strikeout. Dave Henderson struck out looking. That made 6 strikeouts. In the fourth, the Mariners had a base hit off of Spike Owen with a single. However, Bradley and Phelps would strike out. Corbin Thomas would actually, he almost was out, but a big error by Don Baylor, 83, but he struck out, so that makes 9 strikeouts in 4 innings. Clemens in the 5th inning was fantastic. He struck out Presley, Calderon, and Tartabull to make 12 strikeouts. Red Sox couldn't score anything either. The 6th inning, Henderson and Yeager went down. So that's 14 Ks in 6 innings. That's amazing. Spike Owen would fly out. The Mariners would not concede. Top of the 7th, no score. Phil Bradley and Ken Phelps struck out, so that made 16. Worst for Clemens is he gave up a home run to Corbin Thomas deep center to make it 1-0. Jim Presley would ground out. But the Bo Sox would strike back. After a pair of outs, Steve Lyons would single, Glenn Hoffman would walk, and then Ed Romero would pinch run for Hoffman. With 2 men on, Dwight Evans came up to the plate and ripped a 3-run shot to center field off of Moore, scoring him, Lyons, and Romero. So at 3-1, that was huge. Ed Romero would become the new shortstop. After a strikeout to Ivan Calderon and Dave Henderson, they made 18. The Mariners decided to pinch hit Al Calvins for Steve Yeager. He would fly out. Well, 18 strikeouts, so Bob Kearney would be catcher. And all that. Matt Young and Carl Best came in for more and basically did okay. But then he struck out Spike Owen and Phil Bradley, making 20 strikeouts. However, Ken Phelps would not be victim 21 as he grounded out to end the game. So yeah, that was amazing. 20 strikeouts in one game. That is always a fantastic moment. Don't you think? So anyway, yeah, great time. Had by all. So yeah, Clemens 20 strikeouts. That's amazing. So dominant. He would do it again in 1996 in his second last start as a Red Sox before going to the Blue Jays. He was still a strikeout artist even to the 2000s, but he would always be like to the Mitchell Report thanks to that Toronto assistant trainer Brian McNamee. I honestly burned my Roger Clemens Toronto Blue Jays shirt because I didn't want Blue Jays to be associated with that cheating cunt. Sorry, but that's how it is. Anyway, Roger Clemens would become an icon for the Blue Jays for 2 seasons, winning both in Cy Youngs in both years, then to the Yankees, then to the Astros. What can go wrong, I guess? Clemens did fantastic in Game 6 of the 86 World Series, but basically he had a blister problem, and he gave up those runs in the worst possible time. And then, of course, Bill Buckner. So anyway, that's all about Roger Clemens, and all I want to say about him. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.